One thing to really appreciate, though, is the natural progression of player skill. There are no tutorials in World 1, and by level 3, there are plenty of bottomless pits to fall into. You can skip this level if you want, but if you do play and collect every coin, you are rewarded for your skill. The game encourages repeat play and mastery by hiding challenges into the very first level for skilled players, and even shortcuts to later points in the game if the player wants to use them, in the form of warp whistles. Items can also be banked for the first time. Collecting items through minigames and toad houses allows the player to select or store items for more difficult situations down the road. Some items can skip whole levels if the player does not want to complete them or is struggling to do so. Finishing World 1 leads to a second map. World 2 is the desert. These two locales could not be more different from one another, and lets the player know that there will be a large variety of locales to visit with different themes. As the game progresses, these themes escalate in scope, building on each other and introducing new mechanics. Some are one-offs, like the boot in level 5-3. Others stick around for multiple levels, like World 4's gigantic enemies. Almost all the worlds are excellent and make you want to explore the whole game rather than skipping to the end, except World 6. I said before with Donkey Kong that I'm not the biggest fan of level gimmicks that can take away the player control. So, some might assume that the ice physics are what turned me off about World 6. In actuality, though, it's two levels in particular that bother me. 6-5 challenges the player to carry a shell while flying to the top of this cave while avoiding enemies who pick up and throw blocks at the player. Essentially, you either know what to do in this level, or you are subject to trial and error until you figure it out. Or to put it in a different way, you either have a Nintendo Power subscription or you don't. If you look at the map, you might think, well, not that big a deal. I'll miss the Toad House, but I can just go around. But joke's on you! 6-6 is another level that is going to suck lives off your counter. The tiny cave is filled with obstacles and gives you much less room to maneuver than you're used to. It's not impossible, but you will die or lose your power-ups in this level, and it will, for one of the few times in the game, feel like a cheap death because of the sheer amount of obstacles in a tiny space. I would argue that they knew they messed up pairing these two levels together. If you move 6-6 earlier or later, it would not be so egregious. But it was too late to fix it, so instead they came up with a compromise. There are two Hammer Brothers right by the junction for both of these levels, and if you struggle long enough, you will bump into one of them. One of them happens by coincidence to be carrying a cloud that skips levels.